Tony Thacker. What are you, the director of the
I'm the director
NHRA
of the
Wally Parks Motorsports
NHRA,
Museum?
Presented by the Automobile Club of Southern California.
Did we miss anybody?
We didn't miss anyone.
Axes and axles.
Yes.
How do they go together?
Axes, cars, and axes are obviously guitars. Axes on cars. And we've been trying to put this together for 4 or 5 years. Just had a dream to do it. And the 60th anniversary of the Fender Telecaster kind of pulled it all together into a great exhibit.
You have loved cars and guitars your whole life, right?
Pretty much, as far back as I can remember.
Which came first?
Probably the cars, because when I was in elementary school and then just getting into junior high school, I met a lot of my friends were into cars. They had relatives that worked at Riverdale Speedway, and so I was introduced to cars very early.
So you're a local guy. Okay. Joe Benson, the greatest DJ in LA history, knows rock and roll backwards and forwards, but you also are a drag racer and you like cars.
Yes.
Tell us how cars and guitars intertwine.
This is a very interesting display here because the guitarists, the really good guitarists, have a creative streak in them. Some, like Billy Gibbons, will draw things out. You've got that art thing going that way. But in order to play guitar intuitively and play music intuitively, you have to have a streak of creativity. And being around hot rods for most of them takes care of it.
What was your aspirational vehicle when you were growing up? Was it 32?
You know, if I knew as far as hot rods went, but the first thing, if I could ever afford a hot rod or build a hot rod, was a Highboy Roadster with black with flames.
Just like this one.
I mean, this is obviously better than what I had ever envisioned. But yeah, I mean, this was kind of my dream come true in '94 when we built it.
And you've got a number of cars, I imagine, now.
I've got a few others. It's not the best vice, but there can be a lot worse vices, I tell my wife.
But from everybody telling us, the Telecaster was the first solid-bodied, customizable guitar that the industry came up with. And Leo Fender, down here in Fullerton, used the same sort of techniques as Henry Ford to build a guitar. He used interchangeable parts, nuts and bolts and screws, and built just an incredible guitar that you could easily customize. The main thing we're trying to do here is introduce young people to cars and guitars and show them how the synergy of all this stuff works. So during the fair, when we get about 200 kids a day, they'll be able to come in, play a Fender guitar, and all of these teachers will be here during the day. And if a kid even looks like he's going to get it, they'll be there to help him pick up a guitar and play. And then during the Grand National Roadster Show in January, we're going to have more adult workshops, and Roy and Pete Chaporis have promised to be here, hopefully with some of the guitar players, and give the same sort of instruction to an older crowd and say, this is how a guitar's built, this is how a car's built, we use the same techniques, we use the same custom paints. It's kind of the same technology, and it's obviously the same passion, because all of this stuff is all about passion.
It's a real pleasure to be here, and I like cars, and I started coming to the museum as soon as I could a few years ago when I first found out about it. And I've always been to when I was a little kid, I had all the little magazines, the hot rod magazines, and so I'm a complete car nut, and I just started playing guitar before I got a car. So I got a car so I could, with the money I made playing the guitar. But I like cars first. But anyway, they go together, and I don't know why.
I think Jimmy's going to give us a little tune if we can get this digital amp working here.
I said, motor, She wanna ride all night long. If you don't have transportation, boy, she'll treat you wrong.
My pleasure. It's a great exhibit here. Everybody come see it.